Okay, at the risk of sounding like a pissed off father whose daughter's been kept out past curfew, I just need to address something. But before I do that, I want to say thank you to those of you who are subscribed and have already rung the bell and done all of that. Thank you so very much. If you're not subscribed and you stopped by today, well, thank you so much. I do appreciate new visitors. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, okay? Because we do a lot of fun stuff around here, outdoorsy kinds of things. If you enjoy that kind of thing, click subscribe, hit the bell, do all that good stuff. I'd appreciate it. Those of you that are Patreon patrons, you guys are awesome. You know who you are, and I love every single one of you. Thank you. If you're not a Patreon patron and you want to check that out, don't forget, got a link over here, down there, somewhere. It says Patreon someplace. Click on it, check it out. I would greatly appreciate your support. And if you find this video or any of my videos when you're rifling through my stuff of help, and you appreciated it and it was good and all that stuff and you liked it, there's a thanks button down below. Click thanks, send me some thanks, and I'll give you a shout out at the next video saying thank you in return for thanking me. You guys are awesome. I do appreciate every single one of you. Well, so what am I talking about? I'm going to go a little bit on a rant. And so bear with me just a little bit, but it's also going to be educational, at least I hope. I've got a video, I've got a few videos, but I have this one particular video where I talk about using flex tape to fix an irrigation problem. And I'm going to put a link down below so you can go see that video. In case you're having some irrigation issues, you know, one way to fix it anyway. And it's still holding out. It's doing a very good job. It does work. But in that video, I diverged for just a moment and offered a little bit of I guess, an insight of what I do around the garden with my electrical extension cord. I showed an example. I'll put a link to that too. Well, it's the same video, but I'll put a link of the time that happened so you can go right to it if you want to see that. And if it's of help to you, great. If not, if you don't want to do it that way, that's totally fine. But in that video, and I get this comment a lot. Some of it I've had to delete because I do have a dirty word list, and when unkind kinds of words come across a comment, it captures it, and before it publishes that comment, it puts it in a held for review slot so that I can take a look at it. And there are times where it catches a word that's not really used maliciously or maliciously, and so I let it go, or I approve it, and it's okay. I get it. That happens sometimes. Or it misinterprets what's being said. I mean, there are very common English words that can be used in a derogatory sort of way, and I happen to have some of those words in that list just so that I can make sure it's being used properly or not. Okay, enough of that being said. So those messages or those comments have been deleted. Poof, they're gone. If they're malicious, malicious, hateful, all that kind of thing, I just don't want that on my channel. It's not that I don't have a thick skin, because I do. It takes a lot to offend me, but what I don't want to do is, if kids are watching this, I don't want them to be subject to that kind of stuff, okay? But there are some times where I'll just leave the comment and I may ask a question about it, or may kind of want to engage to find out more. Well, the comment that keeps coming up in that video right around the time of the coiled extension cord is that I should never use an extension cord coiled up like this, and you'll have to watch the video why that can happen. But I should never do that because of the risk of fire, and I might burn my house down, all sorts of stuff like that. And I guess everyone's trying to be a safety Sally, and I appreciate that. I really do, when it's with good intention. But I kind of wanted to clear the air a little bit about coiled extension cords. Okay, there is some truth to the fact that if I overload this extension cord with too much current being drawn through it, current that it's not rated for, yes, it'll act like a big resistor and it'll begin to heat up. The copper itself will begin to heat if there's too much energy being drawn through it, more than it is designed for. Okay, makes sense, right? Basically, if you have a room that's 10 by 10 and you put 1,000 people in it and they're all trying to, get through the door, everyone's going to be scrunched up against each other, and it gets kind of hot and everything in there because of all the activity that's going on, and the room heats up. Maybe that's not a good analogy, but you get my point. So if you have 1,000 people, make sure you have a big enough room to hold 1,000 people so that it doesn't overheat. Same thing with the cable, the cord. So if this cable or this cord is rated at 15 amps, which it is, the receptacle and the plug-ins are both 15 amps. It's 12 gauge wire. That's roughly a 15 amp, which is acceptable. As long as I'm not drawing any more than 15 amps, which quite frankly, I don't have anything in my workshop that draws more than 15 amps. I just don't. I don't have a welder or any of that in here, but I don't have that kind of equipment. My circular saw, my jigsaw, my, you see my drill press back there, none of that's drawing 15 amps. Coiled up like this and too much amperage through it, it's because it's concentrated in one little area, it might get pretty warm and melt the insulation on the outside here, the protective coating. And that could happen if it was used inappropriately. But it would also heat up if it was stretched out. It just wouldn't be concentrated in the corner of the room or something. So it's safe for me to keep the thing coiled and only using it in a short distance for short periods of time where it's being current is being drawn at the rating that it's designed for. It's going to be safe. It won't burn the house down. Burning down the house. Okay, so there's that. The other part is, because it's coiled up, I've gotten quite a few comments about, well, it turns into a big inductance coil and it'll heat up like an induction burner and spontaneously combust. And that's just not true. It just doesn't. Now, what is partially true about that is in an induction coil, there's one wire and it goes in, and I'll throw a little picture up here. It goes in one side and it goes around and around and around and around and goes out the other side. And in that coil, a magnetic field is created, and that high intensity magnetic field will induct electricity through metal, if you have a metal core or something like that, and it'll heat up. And that's how induction cooking surfaces work. All right, here's the thing. This thing has two wires running through it, actually three. It's got a ground, but it's inert. But it has two wires that are not inert. It's got black, which is hot, and it's got white, which is neutral. Black has electricity going one direction through it, and neutral has electricity running the other direction through it. So it's actually two wires. So if you have, let's do a little math. If you have +1, that's the black wire, and electricity running through it, and you have -1, which is electricity running in the other direction through the white wire, and you add those two together, what do you get? That's right, you get 0. No inductance, guys. It's not going to induct anything.
No way.
Is that clear? Do you have any questions? Do you have any comments? Do you want to add something to that? I'd like to know. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about coiled electrical extension cords. I just want to interrupt this for just a moment. You know, it's back to school time, and I got notified of it. I want to make sure you're aware of it. Use my Amazon link if you need to buy some stuff for back to school, either for you or for your kids or whatever. Please do that. And there's an app called Honey that I have on my computer that when I'm linked to Amazon and PayPal, and you can actually save a whole lot of money using Honey. So I'd encourage you to use the link that I'm going to give you down below, download it, give it a try, see if you can find a deal, see if Honey can find a better deal and save you even more money when you click and use that in your browser. All right, try it out, see what you think. I know I rambled on a little bit, but I'm telling you, I had to put a block party on quite a few people recently because they just kind of flipped out and said how dangerous I was and, you know, spreading dangerous practices throughout the internet. Okay, I don't believe I am. And if I am, I'm willing to be corrected. But I'm not wrong on this one. I don't think. I'm 99% sure. What I'm telling you right now is the truth. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. All right, that's it. That's all I got for you. I love you. We'll see you next time. I'm working on a few things. It's been hot. Oh, man, you know, today we are below 3 digits. It's 99. It just changed to 101. It was 99 when I started this video because I looked. It's now 101. We're up in 3 digits again. But at least it's not 115. But when things get a little cooler, I'll be able to take you outside and I'll show you some stuff. Okay? That's all for now. God bless you. God bless America. May America bless God. With this stuff, I'm going to leave a link down below. It's made in the USA. It's called Flex Tape.